Hey guys, it's Laurel. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you haven't been before. Um, it's been a good couple weeks since I saw you last. Some exciting things have happened. My daughter had her second duty weekend, the Air Force Reserves. She started two new part-time jobs actually last week. My son got a promotion at work, so he started that this past Monday. And he's doing really good with that. Very excited about it. Very proud of him. So it's been kind of exciting. This morning, got up, did a little stitching, cut out some quilt stuff. Then me and my husband went out, got some lunch. Just got back a little while ago, so decided I'd go ahead and sneak a little video in. So today is Saturday, March 11th, and this is FLOSSTUBE number 11. I also, over the past couple weeks, I'm very excited. I got to 500 subscribers, so that's very excited. I appreciate y'all and coming back, listening to me babble. I did say in the last video that I lied about everything I said in the video prior to. And I've watched a couple of FlossTubers this week, and they've said similar things about lying about stuff. So maybe we should just have a club and we'll make t-shirts that say I'm a floss tuber and I tell lies or something like that. But nice to have you back regardless. So just want to kind of jump in, just kind of show you what I've been working on, what my plans are for the next 2 weeks coming up. I would like to thank Karen for letting me know I made a mistake in the last video. And I was like, I can't believe I did that. I named the wrong designer when I showed a chart. So I did go back. If you haven't watched me before, didn't hear my spiel when I said it, when I am aware that I made a mistake, I will make a notation in the description box below just to correct myself. But I actually went back and watched the whole video, and I told lies about so many things. So if you watch the last video, you might want to go back and just look at the description box and see all the things that I told stories about, and I tried to make it right. So I'm sure there may have been some that I missed also, and probably some will happen in this video, but we're all human, so it's okay. But again, thank you, Karen, for letting me know, because it does kind of bother me. I hate to name the wrong designer when I'm showing their charts. So I'm going to start with stitching progress, and then I will go into haul, and then I will do quilting progress, and then I will do plans for both, and then I have a little nerd note to add somewhere towards the end of the video. So again, hope you've all been good and been getting some stitching done. So I will kind of show you how my progress has been over the last 2 weeks. So I had stated before that I have a semi-system for how I pick my whips and how I do those. So I pick a focus whip for each month, and I basically work on it through the week in the evenings. I have a lunchtime stitch that I have been working on. It's Live on Little by Plum Street, but I'm not going to show it in this video. I'll wait a few more videos till I have a little more progress before I show you that again. But I have been working on that, and then I work on my focus stitch on the Monday through Friday in the evenings, and then Saturday and Sunday is just whatever strikes me. I get up and work on. I had a focus whip in February that I was like, oh, there's no problem. This is not a very big stitch. I can get this one finished, no problem. February is a trickster. February tells lies also, I'll just say. So since I was so confident that I was going to get all this done, I didn't even start on it till like the second week of February. And I just kind of piddled around with some other stuff. Well, that was a mistake because I didn't get it all done. But again, this is just kind of a guideline for me. I'm not, reporting to anybody. So it's not end of the world that it's not done, but I am a little bummed because I would like to have it out this year. So I may work on it some over the weekends and stuff. I don't know. But that piece is Knee High by Kathy Haberman. I misspoke last video and said Kathy Barrett because I have another piece I'm working on that is Kathy Barrett. I love this. Recently, I'm sure I probably said this when I've shown this before, but Penny's Daughter Shares finished this not too long ago, and I was like, oh, I need to get that one back out, and then it showed up on my list, so that was very exciting. So sorry, I got guess I'm stuck in my tooth. So this is the piece, and this is where I wound up for the month. So I did get all of the barn done, this whole cornstalk. I finished, I don't know where I was the last time I showed it to you, but I finished all the words and started the fill-in right here. So I may leave this next to my chair in the living room because that's good like TV fill-in if I'm really into a show or something we're watching. I really wanted to get the quilt part done down here at the bottom, but didn't quite yet, but it'll look really good. So maybe the next time this one is pulled for focus whip, I'll be able to get that done. And I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of looked a little bit at the measurements, and I think this may wind up fitting in a standard 8x10 frame, so it'll be real easy to finish up once it's done, because I do, right now my plan is to frame it as a finish. March's focus whip cross stitch, sorry, because I have so many on my list, and I'll show you my UFO folder and where I stand with all those, but March's number that was drawn was attached to Plum Street Samplers, a shepherd song, which I have loved this, but I have been working on this for 100 years. Reason being, and I've also said this in another video, this is my fabric. It is a 14 count, I think it's vellum by Picture This Plus Ada. It's just a dish rag. It's just a dish rag. It is so soft, so soft. So when I was doing the house, it was a little tedious because I don't like, at the time I didn't like to use a hoop. I have started using a hoop for some projects now, but at the time I didn't, and I just felt like it was taking me forever to do the house. So when I pulled this one out, what I had left to do, I had these two sheep pretty much to fill in. I have pretty much all of the sheep's faces and these little like gold doodads throughout, and then the wording, and there was a teeny tiny little sliver of grass that I didn't have done. So I got it back out and I finished the little polka dot sheep, the body of it, and I've started on the stripes on the sheep on the other. I got the missing portion of grass filled in. I haven't worked yet on any of the little yellow doodads. These that are on this side right here were done previously. And I have to, under the dog is where the wording is, and the wording is 1/1. So since this is Ada, I can't use her charting, but I do have it recharted somewhere with a little bit different wording so that it'll fit in. So I'm very excited to have this one done. It is big. I would probably at least go to like a 16 count on the next one. I am the Live on Little that I'm doing is on a 20 count Ada. So I do have several other of these plans. I may do the next one I start either on a 16 count Ada or maybe a 32 count Lagana. And there are, on all these flowers, I don't know that I mentioned it before, there's these little, I don't know if you can see, there's like some little doodads that come out. I'm not going to do those. I'm not going to put them in. I just think with this being so soft and light of a weave, I don't think the back stitching will be straight enough to make it look pretty, if that makes sense. And I did 2 of my windows. The lights are the wrong color. The 4 windows closest to the door should have been darker. And I did the whole top row of windows before I realized it, but that's okay. So I just corrected the colors in the bottom one. And this is all using the called for DMC in this one. So, and I will say that I've worked on this 3 nights so far in March, and the softness of the fabric isn't even phasing me right now. I think just because I'm doing such smaller sections with the sheep it's not upsetting me at all, and it's very easy to hold on to this time. So either I've just gotten used to it, or I'm just so excited about being that close to the end that I'm just excited to be there, I guess. So I hope to have a finish on that this month, but I'm not gonna stress out about it if something else like grabs my eye and squirrel runs by and I need to go start something new, because you know, market just happened. I have only bought one new market release, and I'll show you that in haul, but I do have several in my shopping cart. So I'm not sure if I want to buy them all at once and just have them and start kitting them, or if I just want to like pace myself and reward myself with new things once I get something completed. So we'll kind of see. So the next piece I worked on is Wildflowers by Kathy Barrick. I'm stitching this on Murky. It is, dropping stuff already. It is a secret as to what the count is. I believe I've called it both a 28 and a 32. It may, I don't know, it's one or the other. I will go back and look again. I have it in the sticker on my chart, but I love this one. I know I say that about everything that I show every time, but I do. I just love it. I love how it looks on this fabric. I'm so excited to get it done, but I have mixed emotions about getting it done, which it's still far away, but this is where I am. I wasn't gonna show it this time because I didn't feel like I had enough progress. I'd kind of stitched the outline up towards the top. So I just worked on it a little bit last Saturday, and then this morning I pulled it back out and did the outline of the leaves down at the bottom. So I have another side of that bottom branch to put leaves on. There's one more flower, and then all the outline will be done on that side. There's a similar star down at the bottom on this side, and then I think two on the other side. But I'm really happy about how this one's turning out. And again, this is a good TV one also. I do have to wear my magnifier clips to stitch on this, but this is good like filling. I can just fill those leaves in while I'm watching TV, and that works out really well. So I really love that one. There are two other Kathy Barricks that I am just chomping at the bit to start. But again, I'm trying to pace myself. I'm kind of tickled with myself that I am listing all my stuff in my book of days, and on the back page I list all my starts for this year, and everything that I have started I have either finished or I'm still currently working on, where in the past it's been, oh, I'll start it, I'll work on a couple weeks, and then it disappears into the abyss till one day I'm cleaning my sewing room and find it back. But I do hope to kind of keep everything I have started this year flowing to the end and finished, or still have it in my whips. So 3 videos from now that will probably be a lot. We've already talked about that, so we'll see. But anyway, bottom line is I really, really, really love that one. So I have to stoop down a minute. I dropped something. Oh, I'm sorry. So the next piece I worked on is Love Sampler by Artful Offerings. This is just dreamy to work on. I am enjoying this so much. This has kind of turned into my Sunday stitch / Wednesday evening stitch. It's kind of my travel back and forth to church chart. I had mentioned before, we live about 30 minutes from church, and it's 2 minutes from work. So on Wednesdays, I'll just drive over to the church and take this with me and work on it. And then on Sundays, it's good for traveling back and forth. I can get a lot done. I can normally get like one of these little petals done on the way to church, one on the way back, and then I'll come home Sunday afternoon, stitch a little bit if I'm not sewing. So it's coming along, and I'm very excited about it. Again, very excited about this. This is the Very Excited Cross Stitch Floss Tube. This is where I am. Oh, that's very, was going to get a board out and I didn't, so I'm sorry. I'll try this. That's a little better. So it is wrinkled, but I did work a little bit on the flowers. I got the other heart in. I got the whole like side of the petals over here. So next I'm trying to do like a couple flowers and then some other aspect of it as I'm going. So I would like to go ahead and get the rest of Love in and do the key that's on this side. That's kind of my plan right now for doing that. So we'll see what kind of mood strikes me tomorrow. But I love this one. It's very, it's just delightful to work on. And again, that's Love Sampler by Artful Offerings. And this is a piece of 28 count Lugana. It was a gray color. It may have been the ash, either ash or pewter. And I did coffee tea dye it myself to get that color. All right, and then I had a new start. Last video, I was talking about the Best Bunnies SAL. I'm not exactly sure who started it. I think I heard about it on either the Fanciful Flamingo or maybe Sweetwater. I can't remember. But anyway, I thought it was a neat idea. I do have a couple charts that have bunnies. I had done this one right there during my first Mania, and I just love it. It's the trilogy chart. I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to find it and see, but that one was really fun to do. But I thought I would like to do something with a bunny, but not like a cutesy bunny. So I had bought this chart. I think I got it. Fat Quarter Shop had a sale last year sometime where they were kind of discounting some charts that they weren't going to restock so that they could get some of their newer stuff because they didn't have room for everything. And I think this is one of them. And this one I actually, last video, lie number 47, I called this Prudence. Patience, 1898. And this is by Hands to Work Revisited. And I just love that little bunny. I just think he's really cute. So it does have listings for needlework, silk, and DMC. I pulled the DMC for it. It's just a handful of colors. And they're very muted, and I like muted stuff. I'm back and forth. I like lots of colors sometimes. I like muted stuff sometimes. It just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. And I had shown you last time I bought this piece of 18 count Ada Affogato, I think, but I wanted to try this, so I did start stitching. I got the name and the bunny in. I wasn't sure. I had done the outline of the bunny and I was afraid the fabric was too light, but once I filled it in, I think it'll be good. And then, you know, the other colors, they'll show up really good on it. So, and it's just little. I may make this into a pillow. I'm not sure. But it leaves me plenty. I have a big piece, so it leaves me plenty. So I was thinking that I might want to use this. There is a chart that Teresa Kogut has coming out. It's the rabbit with the Easter egg tree. I thought that would look really cute on this. And there was something else that I had on my brain that I was thinking about I could use for it, but I can't remember what that is right now. But anyway, I have a pretty big piece, so I'll have plenty to use it for another project. So that's all the stitching wise that I have been working on this month. I will say, I'll just kind of give you an update. I have my little UFO folder for my UFO pulls, so I'll just kind of give you a rundown of where I am. I have 4 charts. I have 2 for quilting and 2 for cross stitch. The quilting is finishing a quilt top, and the second one is having a quilt quilted. For my cross stitch, it's finishing the stitching, 1 list for finishing the stitching, and 1 list for fully finishing the objects. So, and I know that a lot of people are participating in the UFO challenge, FFO challenge 2023. I think it's a hashtag that one of the ladies from Too Tall Stitchers, maybe, and Michelle from Penny's Daughter shares. I probably shouldn't just talk off my head like that because I'll be having to apologize for that too. But there is a stitch along for fully finishing objects, and it's really fun. There's been tons of people that are doing that. If you follow the hashtag, you'll get all kinds of inspiration and be excited about getting stuff done. And every time, you know, I'm scrolling through and I see a bunch of finishes, I want to come home and finish something. So, but right now where I am, so for actual cross stitching, so in January, and these were shown in previous floss tubes, Disturb Us Lord was my to cross stitch, and I knew I wouldn't get that done, but I did meet my goal of where I wanted to be on that. February was Knee High, and I showed you that, and then Shepherd Song as well, I showed earlier. For fully finishes, not so good. I did frame LW 1884, and I showed that again in the last video. Simply Autumn by The Drawn Thread was one that I had finished fairly recently, I'd say in the last 6 months. And I was gonna, that was what was drawn for February, and I was gonna take it and get it framed, but then I'm just not sure. I'm just indecisive about it, so I just didn't do anything there. And then this month's is Snowy, the jar. It's a collaboration between Hands On Design and Priscilla. So I do have a paddle for that one, and I may put that one on a paddle. We'll just see. So anyway, that's kind of my quick little update of that. So now let's talk about haul for a minute. So market happened. I had 2 or 3 charts. I was like, I'm getting those. Ooh, I'm getting those. I'm getting those. And that's all I'm going to do. Well, then, you know, like I said before, like everybody else, I'm sure, has had the same thing. They kept showing stuff, and then they were showing videos of everything, and I wanted everything. But I was like, I'm just going to start with one right now, because I really do. I ordered this one online just because I really thought a lot of people were going to be grabbing this. And again, it's not going to go out of print in 6 weeks. It's not a limited anything, but I do want to have it because this was my unicorn chart. So I ordered this one. The other ones I have like on my wish list or saved from my online stores, but I do want to wait until I'm able to go to my LNS and see what she picked up from market, because I'm sure that one of the multiple things that I have on my list, or one or more, that she purchased. So I would like to support her, because I love having an LNS here, and if everybody just buys online, the LNSs go away. But I also support online, so I'm equal opportunity. I'll support anybody that sells some cross stitch. So, but that chart is Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs. So it is, I'm pretty sure it's charted with silks, and online on the shop that I bought it from, it also listed the DMCs. So I went and started pulling DMCs. And then when I got it, it also has a conversion for overdyes. So right now I have a little mix of these. So I don't have a full set of either one. So I'm just going to kind of see between these, and once I decide on my fabric, what looks better to me. So I'll pick up the rest of the overdyes and the DMC next time I go out. And then I'll decide on my fabric, and then hopefully this will be a start before long. But I just love it. I am so excited to have this. There were 2 charts that were my unicorn charts. This was the major one, and then the Happy Hearts by Birds of a Feather. I was able to get that one also. I have not pulled the threads or anything yet for that one, but I do think I have the fabric picked out. So I just want to start everything. And I almost started, there are 2 that I have fully kitted for market last year. I almost started one of them and I held off, but I don't know. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold out. So this morning I did get some fabric in that I had ordered. I wanted to get some more 32 count Lugana. I talked in the last videos, I feel like all of my fabric is kind of the same color, so I wanted to get some different things. So this is what I got. I got and these are all, I'm pretty sure, I think these are all Picture This Plus. This one may not be. Yeah, I don't think this one is. All right, so these are Picture This Plus. This and 32 count. This is upside down. Brash, which I just think is very stunning. There is Legacy. I'm just going to kind of hold them together. So it's lighter, but again, has the nice modeling. This would also be pretty for Teresa Kogut's bunny. I don't have any Fox and Rabbit because I'm not, you know, me and Lynn aren't quite friends yet. We're just acquaintances right now. But there's, I think it's Ballet Slipper is what she stitched that one off, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty, but this is kind of along that lines. I don't want to say it's super similar because I don't have a piece to compare it to, but from the pictures it looks similar. I also got a piece of Heritage. And it's actually, my piece is a little greener than what it's showing up. But so pretty. And then I keep acting like I don't have any earthen. And right here where I'm sitting, I'm looking at my stack of fabric. There's 2 other pieces of earthen right there. So I don't know why I ordered earthen again, but I did. But it's used a lot. And I don't, like, it looks pinky. And even in person, it looks not this pink, but more mauve-y. And I think I just keep ordering it thinking it's going to show up different. But I think that's just how the dye takes for that blend on a Lugana. Because I feel like in the pictures, when they show earthen, like in models and stuff, it's not that pinky, I guess. But again, normally it's on linen, so obviously it takes the dye different. And I understand that, and I'm okay with it. I don't know, apparently I'm gonna have a lot of stuff stitched on earthen coming up. And it is different because, you know me and pink. I would like to, I think that the basket in Winter Rose Manor would look pretty on this. I've done the whole big piece of Winter Rose Manor, but I would like to do just the little basket that they have. And I've seen a couple people do that, and it turns out really pretty. And then this one, I don't know who this is by, but this is also 32 count. It's Cobblestone Lugana. Look at that. Ooh. Now I think, and I don't know the name of it, and I should because I've had it in my basket quite a few times and I keep pulling it back out, but it is the Barbara Anna Designs. It has the girl on one side, the man on the other side, and the heart in the middle. I know that Sherry Colorado Cross Stitcher has shown it. Is that right? I want to say that Stitching Faye possibly is the one that I saw that has it on her mantle. I don't know, but the people are, I think I haven't ordered yet because the people are very pale, like in it. And I'm not really good about changing colors or anything, so I want to use like the call for colors, but I haven't really found a fabric that I've just been like, oh, that'll look good, but they will pop on this. I mean, look at that. Ooh, I love that. This may be a fan favorite. We'll see. So we'll see what that entices me to buy for next time. Okay. And I do have a couple other Barbara Anna. Let me just talk about her for a minute. I have not been on the Barbara Anna bandwagon. I don't know why. Every time somebody posts something, I'm like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever. Now, I did buy the magazine that has the deer that Sarah showed, and I think everybody went out and bought that because hers was so pretty. So I did buy that. I want to do that at Christmas. But Barbara Anna has one that is Starry Night. It's like her version of Starry Night, and my daughter loves that, and I'm gonna have to order that, and I'm gonna have to stitch that for her because it's so cute, so cute. And then somebody is stitching the Mad Hatter, and oh my goodness, like her colors are just so good. So there are several hers that I want, and I would like to eventually do All Creatures Great and Small. I know last year everybody I felt like that I was watching was doing that, and it was great. I mean, it was so pretty, and I would like to do that as a year-long stitch. But I talked again, I have 2 year-long stitches that I haven't finished, and I'm not going to try to bite off another one and just keep adding to that and not getting something done. So that may be what I reward myself with. But my 3 contenders for year-long stitch are that one, All Creatures Great and Small, and the 2 heartstring samplery, His Eyes on the Sparrow and Consider the Lilies. Now we know His Eyes on the Sparrow and Consider the Lilies. There's no way I'll get those done in a year. So Barbara Anna might win out on that one. I'm not sure. But anyway, I am about to jump down the Barbara Anna rabbit hole is all I was trying to say with all that babbling. Okay, so before I go on to haul, I do want to, I'm sorry, I have my notes on my phone. I do want to mention there is a FLOSSTUBER that just put out her first video like 2 weeks ago. And I want to tell you something, like I have so many FLOSSTUBERs that I've added since I have started doing a floss tube, just because I'm very interested to see what everybody else shows. They're very inspiring. They're making me spend a lot of money. But, you know, it's just like a little community of people. So every time I see, like, especially like a brand new one, I want to jump on there and watch and see if they're going to be one of my people that I just have to watch. So this channel that's new to me, like I said, she has 2 videos, but I think the second one was only like just a few minutes thanking everybody for the great response she got. Her channel is Lost in Stitches, and she absolutely, there is positivity like oozing out of her pores. Like, she is so fun to watch, and her projects are so cute. She has so much stuff that I've never seen before that she's stitching. I'm very excited to see. I hope that she stays on track with her floss tube, and I hope she continues to have this great following. I hope she continues to post, because I really, really enjoyed watching her. I don't normally watch too many videos a second time. Now, I will watch Brenda and Laura, and I will watch Saltbox multiple times sometimes, just because I watch some during, when I'm at work, I'll have it on so I miss some stuff, but I always kind of watch theirs in the quiet too. But she may be one I might have to go watch that first video again, because it was really, really, really enjoyable. So check her out. Again, her name is Lost in Stitches is her channel name. So I think, I'm looking around, I think that's all I have cross stitch wise. So I'm going, other than haul, no, I did show you my haul. I did show you my cross stitch haul, sorry. So I am going to go ahead and jump into the quilting portion. And again, I know that a lot of people that do the cross stitch and quilt, well, there's not too many that do cross stitch and quilting, but I know the ones that do, they normally say this is a great, you know, point. I'm done with cross stitch, so you know, go to your next video or whatever. But I always want to encourage you just to stay for the quilting portion. I like I said before, I am a quilter who cross stitches, is how I would describe myself, and I have really enjoyed, there have been a few people that have not necessarily split their whole video, but they have started doing quilting videos in between their cross stitch videos, and I'm really enjoying that, and also getting lots of inspiration from that. So I'm going to start that portion with quilting haul that I got. Now, I have no willpower when it comes to buying fabric, and if you've watched me at all, probably in any video, you've seen that, and you know. So I'm gonna quit apologizing for it. But there was more stuff that showed up that I anticipated showing up because of clubs and pre-ordered stuff and whatnot. So, sorry, my pizza. So I'm just gonna show you what I got, and then kind of go from there into what I've been working on, what my plans are coming up. So this is kind of cross stitch. This is the Susan Aki Summer Memoirs. Memories. So sorry. I had pre-ordered this because it has my 2 favorite hobbies, quilting and cross stitch. and it's all red, white, and blue themed. So on the front is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful quilt. And on the back, you can see the cross stitch. If you haven't, for whatever reason, seen like the cross stitch, Fat Quarter Shop showed all the cross stitch pieces. She had them and showed them a while back. They are so cute. So someone had said, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I showed you this video. Maybe I showed you this book last time. I can't remember. But I mean, just look. So pretty. Looking, and maybe I did, because I think there was conversation about maybe this one being a quilt along. I don't know, but I'm gonna just show you a couple more, just in case. I'm sorry, just in case you haven't seen. But Susan Aki, I'm gonna tell you, she's brilliant. And these are like, this is the little cross stitch. Look at that. Oh, I love that one. So pretty. Okay. All right. So enough about that book. But anyway, love this. Love this. If you are a cross stitcher, if you are a quilter, or if you are a patriotic lover, this is a fantastic book for you. I definitely will tell you that's a great book. All right. So now I'm gonna pull these out. I'm sorry I didn't earlier. But this is my mini charm club. The fuzzy. So this time is sun washed. Lots of super bright, fun, springy colors. And I have, let this over here, Clover Blossom Farm. And this is a little darker, dingy, rustic looking, which I'm really liking right now. Don't like that one. Sorry. Dropped out frame again. I thought, you know, since I showed you the top of my head so much in the last video, you might like to see it so much in this video too. Meadow Mirror. That's got neat colors. Very neat color combinations. And then this, now I do have a jelly roll in this, and I had shown it to you a while back, but I'm so excited about this line of fabric. I can't even tell you. It's Date Night by Basic Gray. Now I will tell you, I already know what I'm gonna do with this one, and I'm gonna show you right now. I was watching Lala D Stitches. She did a quilting video. She showed this pillow. I've seen this pillow before. For all I know, I've bought this pattern before. I do not know, because I'm not very organized with my quilting patterns. But I saw it, and she, you know, referenced, she was like, just Google this and you can find it or whatever. I went instantly on and I ordered this. I think I got it from Missouri Star Quilt Company. But it's the Hexie pillow. So I am going to use this fabric line, and instead of a white background, I think I'm going to use either I'm thinking a Moda Grunge, either like a gray or a black, or maybe even like this browny beigey color, because in our living room we have a gray couch and it kind of has like these kind of colors as my other like throw pillows and the vibe in there. But I thought I might like to do that. Like, I have started a grandmother's flower garden quilt, or an adaptation of it, I guess. I don't know if it's the exact one, because it has some more little pieces. That's going to take me 112 years to finish. I'm okay with that. But I am a little bit familiar. Like, I won't have any trouble making the hexie pieces to go on. And I did pull out and kind of glanced over the directions about how to lay them out and line them up and everything and quilt over it. And I am so excited about this. So this is one of those squirrels that will run by. So I'm wondering if I might go ahead and prep all my hexie pieces. This may be something I take to quilt camp with me, or it may be something I go ahead and do before. I'm not sure. Quilt camp is coming up the end of April, so I'm kind of at the stage right now where I'm planning some of the stuff that I want to do, and I try to have stuff cut out when I go to camp because I run my mouth a lot at camp, and when I talk I don't concentrate very well and I mess up my cutting, which is a story for later on. But if this doesn't get started before camp, I'll say that I do have intentions to take it to camp, and I'll leave it at that. But oh, good combination. That was a good find. I'm so glad she showed that pillow because I'm very excited about that. And then because I had ordered something from Fat Quarter Shop, oh, it was the Birds of a Feather is who I ordered that from, and she had shown that week, maybe, I don't know, this pattern, and it could have been one of their flash sales. I'm not exactly sure, but it is by Robin Pickens, Farmhouse Crossings. I'm sorry, that's very glary. Let me take it out. And I was like, I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. So the lack of willpower that I have encouraged me to go ahead and buy this, and I did. And this is one that is a lot of cutting and placement and stuff. So I don't know. I have so many camp projects. This might be a little tedious for camp. I'm not sure, but oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Probably what will happen is it will wind up in a pile with all my other oh so pretty patterns, and 2 years from now I'll pull it out and go, oh, that's pretty, and then put it back again. But we'll see. What will probably do me in is if somebody actually shows this quilt on a video, like if, you know, Fat Quarter Shop or Missouri Star or whoever in quilting world, or a floss tuber, or I guess quilt tuber, I don't know what you call that, but if somebody shows this done, it will probably do me in, and I'll have to like do it right away. So if you're out there in Instagram world and you've done that and you've posted a picture somewhere, like send me a message. I'm gonna need to go look at that and see if it's gonna make me do it right away. And then this was a flash sale. I have a couple weaknesses encompassed within my weakness for Fat Quarter Shop, and they are fabric kits and jolly bars. All the jolly bars come with a pattern, and when they show that pattern on their video, it makes me buy it. I put this in my cart as a maybe, and then my other weakness happened and they put it on flash sale. I'm pretty sure. So I clicked the buy button and I bought it. Now this is Simply Delightful by Sherry and Chelsea. It's cute, right? The fabric's cute. If I saw this in a quilt shop, like the line right there, I don't know that I would have like jumped at it and be like, ooh, I gotta have it. I mean, it's beautiful. And I like them. Like, they're really good designers. I really like their stuff. But they showed the quilt. Look at that. It's like the little Polaroid pictures. So it's called Selfies Quilt. I mean, how can you not? And how easy will that be? That should be a super quick sew. And, you know, my daughter would love that. But I might love it too, and I might not let her have it. I don't know. Might be cute hanging up here on my wall. I'm sorry. Suddenly my nose is starting to itch. So, and that would be a good camp project. You see the dilemmas I have? You should see me trying to pack for camp. It is ridiculous how I cannot make a decision. And how I take so many. I think I was doing FLOSSTUBE last time I went to camp, and I showed you all the stuff I took versus what I actually finished at camp. They didn't equal each other. All right, and then the last piece of haul, then the haul show will be over. I got my third set of Scraps of Kindness Block of the Month, and that is the Kim Deal. And I wasn't really expecting this, and it came today, and I was like, oh, I was so proud because I just cut the last last month's out. I have 6 blocks all cut out sitting over here ready to go, and I thought I was getting caught up. I was like, I'll sew them together this weekend. I will be caught up. No, I will be behind still. So, but that's okay, because I talked about that too. Sometimes you're just behind, and it's okay. Alright, so that's all my quilting haul. Now I want to show you what I've been working on. So I had shown this a while back. I finished the pillow that I had done with a set of my mini charm square packs. So this is my pillow. I did a crosshatch quilting on it, I'm not sure if you can tell. And then I sandwiched it together with an envelope back, which I won't show you because the overlap is not exactly right. And then I just put a blue, it's a grunge binding on it. And he's super fat. He's like super, super fat. The pillow wound up being like right around 19 inches, like an odd size. So I'd intended on getting a 20-inch pillow form to fill it because I like them super full. And then I was like, oh, if it's closer to 19, maybe I should go up a little bit. So I got a 22-inch. So it is like super, super, super full. I probably should have just gotten 20, but it's okay because I use it like when I go to camp. I'll take this because the chairs that we use, I need something behind me as a little cushion, and it's thicker, so when I lean back, like, it feels really good. So and the reason I do, like, I had pulled up, I googled what the overlap should be for envelope back or whatever, and it was funny because one of the instructions when it's talking about pillows said, you know, you should buy the same size pillow form of what your pillow size is. Well, I'll say no. If that's what you want, it's fine. There's no rules. But I did that with this one that I made. And look at this. It's like, it looks like it's like it needs a bigger pillow form in here. That's where I'm going. So that's why I like the bigger ones, because I like them to be full and hold their form. Where this one, if I keep it in my like sewing chair here, and the more I get up and down and move and squish it around, by the time I'm done, he just looks pitiful and flat. So he really needs to have a bigger pillow form in him. But this is one of my mistakes from camp. So I will show you at some point. There is a beautiful quilt that was in a magazine that I made. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to make it. It was scrappy, and one of the colors in it was teal. It had teals, yellows, and oranges, which are not my number one go-to colors, but I was like, oh, it was beautiful. And when you see it, you'll see the pattern is so beautiful. But when you made that, you would make like a square of these strips, and then you had to cut it on a diagonal to make the pieces that make up a star that's in the quilt. Well, I was at camp. I had all my teals, had just barely enough. I mean, barely enough. I think I had enough to make like two or three extra squares, and that was it. Well, one of the ladies that was there had came over, and she was talking to me about the pattern, where it was and where she could find it. We were discussing it, so I'm talking to her, I'm cutting out my pieces, and I'm cutting out my pieces. I kept cutting the diagonal wrong. So by doing that, it wouldn't work, because this particular half, the stripes needed to be this way. But talk, I just kept talking, and I messed it up. So I was a little bummed about that, but finally, the very last cut, I waited, and I talked about it, and I talked to myself, and I took a deep breath, and I counted to 10, and I remeasured it, relayed it again, and had enough, thankfully. But these are my stray pieces from that mistake, so I just came home and put them in a little pillow. So that's nice, you know, just to lay around. So, all right, so what else did I work on? I also did one square of my Socialettes 2 with Fat Quarter Shop. I really like this one. It's got that little hourglass, and it's framed by some squares. And it turned out pretty good. It's not too wonky. A little stray thread there. I did last night, I cut out another one. No, this morning I cut out another one. And my intention was to sew it together, but I kind of got in cutting mode. And I was like, oh, like, let me just go ahead and keep cutting. So I cut that one out. So I have that one plus my 6 spools cut out to do. And I started cutting out my Suburban Skies quilt. And I think sometimes I get in moods, and I really like to do all my cutting at one time. So I was just in cutting mood today. So I'm like, I'm just going to cut until I'm not in the mood to cut anymore. So I started on that, which I will say I was probably in such a mood because you can just see the corner right here of this table. I'm not sure if I had it in here last week, but I got my cutting table put in here. It's on the risers, and it is making a world of difference just to have a dedicated space to do all my cutting. Because before I was having to use half my table that my sewing machine is on for that, and the space just didn't work for me. So right now this is working out great. Like, I'm so in love with my sewing room right now. I don't even know what to do with myself. And then I also worked on, I am doing a mystery quilt with some friends that I had talked about. Oh, sorry, dropsies. I have to find a better place to lay all my stuff to show because I'm just clumsy. But anyway, I'm doing the murder mystery quilt with some friends of mine from quilt camp. So I'm behind, and apparently with this group of friends, I like to start late. I have yet to start one of them that we have done on the month that we're starting it. Like, I have to see a couple months, I guess. I don't know why that is. This one, my problem was I was having a hard time picking my background fabric. And I've done mystery quilts before, and I do plan on in one of my episodes to show the mystery quilts I've done and talk about mystery quilts. This one is more in depth because it has a lot more colors that you pick out prior to. So sometimes me and a friend of mine, we went to look. She was going to go ahead and pick out all her colors, and she was like, will you help me look? I want to do this. And I was like, yeah. So we started looking. It was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. So we kind of decided, I think, or I at least am going to just pick my colors as we go month to month for the colors that come. So again, not paying attention. The other night, Fat Quarter Shop had a live YouTube video. So I came back here and I was going to cut these out while I was watching that. And I did. There were 2 versions of this block, and I wanted to do the other version. However, I cut out this version. So this is now the version of this block that I did. So, and there's 3 total of these. So I did that. There's 3. So those are pretty, and they turned out good. They're not the version that I wanted, but that's okay. And I'm not sure you can still get in this year's murder mystery, but you can go on and get on their like email list to be notified when they open up for the next one, if I'm not mistaken. But if you just Google murder mystery quilt 2023, it will give you the information and kind of the details and stuff. I don't want to go into all the details because that's their thing. I just made some blocks. And then this was month 2. Made kind of mirror images of this block. Don't know what this is supposed to be. Don't know how it will be in the quilt. You know, just don't know. So, because it's a mystery, so we'll wait and see. So, I am excited that I have a little bit coming up. I do feel like I'm caught up just because today is Saturday and Wednesday, they release the 3rd block. So I have that, and I think I have all the colors that I need for it. And then that will be done, and I'll be caught up with something. I had told myself that I was not going to, I want to start the Barn Star sampler quilt so bad, and I told myself I wasn't going to start it until I got caught up on all these other ones, but I don't think I'm going to get caught up, so I'm going to just start it anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Now I want to talk about my UFOs for quilting. So let me pull my pages back out. So for quilting, the actual quilting, I have yet to get one quilted this year. So January fail, February fail, but that's okay. That's fine. March's quilt that is picked out is called Labyrinth. It is a beautiful quilt. I don't have a good picture of mine, or I would try to insert it on my Instagram. I think there is one maybe on my Instagram that's okay. It's kind of a weird angle. It's black. No, it's like a charcoal gray, a light gray, and white. And it's I would say it's more of a manly quilt. But if you go look, like I said, on my Instagram, I am a quilt nerd. On my quilting Instagram, I do think I have a picture of it on there, but I may get that one done. I'm not sure. I got so much other stuff going on that I'm not really in the mood to sew a backing together and get that all packaged up. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. Now, quilt tops. I'd shown you in January the scrappy quilt. I have it named 1 by 1 is what I've been calling it. I did get a couple rows assembled on that, and I showed that. So I knew I wouldn't get that one done, so I'm not too stressed out about that. Anthology was February. Again, I know I'm not going to get it done, so I'll work on it sometime this month. Showed y'all the blocks. Never made a block. March. Okay. Surely to goodness I can finish March. So I'm going to show you what March's is. A few years back, well, several years back at this point, our local quilt shop did a quilt along, and it was done with a series of patterns. So each month, I don't really remember how she formatted or worked it out, but each month there was a new pattern. So you would basically, there's the pattern, and then it would show down here just the block, and it would tell you how many blocks to sew for the big quilt. So you had a pattern where you could take this block and make a whole quilt with just that block, or it would say, okay, make X amount of this block. So like this one, I want to say mine is, it's got to be a queen size. It's huge. So just say in theory, it would tell you on the back, I'm trying to remember. Oh, if you want to do the whole thing, it would tell you on the back how many blocks you need to do. So for this one, I needed 9 of this block. I see it now. So each one of these patterns is a musical name. And then the big quilt is called Bel Canto, which I assume is also musical. I'm not musical. That's some fun fact about me. There's nothing musical anywhere in my body. When I sing, I kill birds. It is not a joyful noise that comes out of my mouth. When we go to church, there are people in our church that sing beautifully, and they sing in the choir, and I tell them all that God also needed people to listen to them sing, and that is my job. No musical ability. I cannot dance. I cannot sing. There's no rhythm anywhere in my body. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, so this was the first one. I'm going to try to say these. I don't know. Concerto? Or maybe it's concerto or concerto. I don't know. Sonata. I really like doing this block. And this would be a really pretty quilt all by itself. It has 12 of these blocks. Crescendo. See how many words I can mispronounce. There are a blue million of these. Duet, I can say that one. There were 8 of this block. Ensemble. This would make a really pretty quilt too. And this block went together really good too. There's 12 of these. Nocturne. There's like 10 of these blocks in it. And then when you put it all together, this is what it looks like. So it's a very busy quilt. It is. And I just told you how much I love muted tones. You would think I would have done these tones, these colors. for whatever reason, I decided to find the brightest possible batiks known to man and use those. Now it's pretty, but it's bright. It's very, very bright. So again, it's giant. Now I did not do, like, it's just done to right here. I didn't do these little extra pieces up here. So what I want to do is just from this inside. I don't want to put a binding right up against the block. So I'm just doing a 2.5 inch strip all the way around. And all of my background on this is scrappy. So I can just pull any of those fabrics and make a 2.5 inch, or sew a 2.5 inch strip all the way around, and the top will be finished. So surely to goodness, I can do that in 3 weeks time. Lies, maybe, I don't know. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to hold it up again. There should be a picture on my quilting Instagram. She's big. It's going to cost me so much money to have this quilted, but it's an accomplishment. Like, when you do something that big, like, be proud of it and show it off. So I'm not going to be able to show it off unless I quilt it and put it on my bed. So eventually it will be on my bed. So I'm going to step out of frame for just a minute, grab it. And again, look how bright that is. So you can see, and the blocks are pretty big. I mean, you know, that's a block. That's a block right there. I don't know why I thought I needed this. Like, it's not as bright as what it's showing right there on the screen, but it's pretty bright. But I felt like I needed that. And it does stand out when you lay the whole quilt out. It, like, those pop off, like, really pretty. But so it's got some personality, this quilt does. Which I will say, I do like the little middle. Maybe I can show you like the middle, the medallion piece. Maybe I can make it show up. I don't know. I will say that the piecing on this is probably one of the better jobs of piecing I did. There have been other quilts that I am very thankful for a good long arm quilter that can hide mistakes. This is the, wow. Okay, this is the very, very center. And then this little arrow piece is also like at the end of each one of those quadrants. So it kind of pulls your eyes out. So I don't know what kind of quilting I will do on it. But it's going to be something when it's done. For sure. For sure it's going to be something. Alright, so let's talk. I think I showed everything. So let's talk about quilting plans. Quilting plans are, I would like to get these 2.5 inch strips put on. I would like to start planning for my quilt camp that is coming up. I would like to sew several more of the socialites blocks to try to get that caught up, because I would like to, like, when everybody else gets the finishing, I know some people are already doing it, but if I would like to have all the blocks done by the time the finishing is released, so I can do that. I'm not doing very good at that, but we'll see. So I would like to get some more blocks done on that. I would like to sew the 6 blocks for my Scraps of Kindness quilt together and cut out this month's at least. I would like to do the next installment of my Murder Mystery quilt. I would like to finish cutting out the Abby Lane quilt that I've been showing you the pattern for last couple of videos. On my cutting table right now, I have 7 items, which is a combination. I think 2 of them are table runners and fiber quilts that are quilted. They're trimmed. They just need binding put on. I'm not even sure how many quilts are hanging on the rack behind where you're sitting right now that need to be sent to the long armor. So all of that being said, and I'll probably come back and be like, here's my one square that I did. But it's okay because it makes me happy, and whatever I get done, I will get done. So we'll see how that goes. So that's all I have for my quilting portion. Now for my nerd note, I did find this. I don't know what made me think of it. I was watching somebody, and it might have been Lala D Stitches, that was talking about making a quilt for like a niece or nephew or something. And years ago, I had found this poem. Don't remember how I found it. Don't know if somebody told me. Don't know if I just stumbled across it. Have no idea. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. Like, it almost tears me up. I just think it's so adorable. So I held on to it, and time went by, and a few years ago I made my great nephew a quilt for Christmas. I wanted to put this on a label for the quilt, but I didn't have time to get that done because I was sewing the binding on like 2 days before Christmas kind of thing. But I did put it in the card that I gave him, and I absolutely love this. For any quilt item that you give to a child, I think this is the sweetest poem ever. So I looked it up. I'm going to read it to you. I do not know who wrote this. I will say when I pulled it up, there were several different versions that came up. I saw 2 different names attached to it, and then all the rest said author unknown. So I'm not sure who to give credit to for this, but I absolutely love it. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, as I go find it. Okay. This quilt is made of cloth and thread to place upon your little bed. It's not an heirloom just to keep, but to lay upon as you count sheep. Or perhaps the floor's the perfect place for a doll and teddy picnic space. This quilt can be anything you can dream, from Superman's cape to the robe of a queen. Pretend it's a raft adrift at sea, or just cuddle up when you watch TV. So use it up and wear it out. I promise I won't yell or pout. Just tell me when its days are through. I'll make another just for you. Is that not the most adorable thing ever? So I did change his version because, of course, I put from Superman's cape to the robe of a king. So you can tweak it and kind of make it fit the personality of the child that you're giving it to. But I just love that. So if it's something you're interested in, you can just go in and Google "This quilt is made of cloth and thread" poem. It will come up with a number of other ones. So I did find another one that I thought was really cute. I'm sorry, my voice is about gone. This one I also like, and I may use this. I want to try to find out. I'd looked up spoonflower, but I'm not sure I can make this work. But I want to try to get some labels made with some of these. Sorry. But again, I thought this one was really cute. Live life like a quilt. Be soft when it's important. Be warm when it's cold. Be proud to show your true colors, and always scrap together when times are tough. I just love that. I thought it was adorable. So many talented people out there that may not be quilters, but they are great with some words. So I love those 2 poems. If you have any that you use, or that you reference to, or that you've used as quilt labels or put in a card or anything, please share those down below, because I just love these. I just love that you can pull other creative people into your creativity and use that. So, like I said, my voice is about gone. I guess that's a sign that I have babbled enough for today. I hope to be back in 2 weeks with an update on what I have shared with you today, whether I was able to get anything more accomplished, and maybe there's new stuff that I stumble upon between now and then, and you'll have a whole new different group of things to see. So until then, hope you get lots of stitching done, hope you get lots of quilting done, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks.